Buon compleanno, Georgie! I love you! You're gorgeous! And I want your hair! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Hey Samesy!
Happy birthday, George.
Hi George, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, George! I love you! I'm so happy your birthday's come!
I literally remember like the moment that I first heard him, and I was in DT and we were doing cooking, and I just heard him say, "Gordon and Bennett." I looked over, I was like, who says that? Like, we're 13. I looked over and I saw George. I was like, oh, he seems like a cool dude.
That's my first memory of you. The first time we met was actually in Oxford, and we went and got a coffee from this place called Morton's, and we sat on a fence for a bit. No, it was not a fence, it was like a wall. And that was a good laugh. I remember thinking afterwards, I was like, what a guy.
I don't know if you know this, but we actually met probably a whole year before you even met Ellie, because we met at one of Wolf's parties. And I remember you because we were dancing and you were drunk and you said that you love trees, and I think I was with Helena and we both remember you because of that.
My first memory of you for some reason is being in history class, and I thought you were like way too cool for me, like way too cool to ever talk to me, but I knew who you were because we were both dyspraxic and we were both dyslexic, and I remember like you just always talking back to the teachers, like always, and it was really funny and everybody loved you.
I don't actually know what my first memory of George was. I'm assuming we're in a pub, and he was probably wearing a shirt. I'm getting really annoyed because there's so many words that George says that I can't remember, but they're amazing. Sounds a bit like Russell Brand.
He used to say, I don't know if he still does, but when it's really cold, he'd be like, "Oh, chilly Wurzel Gummidge," and I never really knew what it meant. He just used to say it. I just think it was funny.
Being the animal, I think that you would be a rhino, because when you were at mine that one time, we were playing that drinking game, and we were all going around in a circle saying, I think it was animals from South America, and at that point you'd passed out, but it got to you and you awoke from your slumber and said the word rhino and then went straight back to sleep again. It was really, really funny. So that's what animal I would have you heard.
Probably some kind of animal with like really, really gangly limbs. Maybe like one of those monkeys that have like really long arms and legs and a tail. They're always like jumping from tree to tree.
When I think of George, I think of gardening the most, and then beer, then music, and Ellie. Probably Ellie, then beer.
Well, what do you think of when you think of George? Well, I think probably down the pub, drinking some sort of alcoholic beverage, probably a pint of something with have a moustache around your face, and yeah, probably the night that summed you up most was when we was at the Hare and Hounds, sat out on the benches outside. I think it was the night of that bonfire we had, and having a nice drink. And it was this year, mates all there. Yeah, that's probably what I think about when I think of you. Probably going back to your second pint and paying with coppers, only getting half pint. Although probably changed a little bit now. Now you've actually got a job and actually being all grown up. So yeah.
Probably gardening.
The inside of George's head would be decorated amazingly. It would have like just piles of vinyls everywhere, and then the floor in the inside of George's head would be grass, and then there'd be like little cute green bits, and then the walls would be...
Ideal world, the inside of your mind would look like a temple made out of smoked cheese. In particular, that lovely smoked cheese that we had in Italy, which was truly beautiful. Smoked cheese with like cracker windows and all of that. And then lots of 80s and 90s, like 80s and 70s rock kind of thing going on. Some good bangers and some smoked cheese. A bit of fruit.
The walls would be made of vintage shirts, and curtains would be made of vintage shirts. It may be shirts and green. And I feel like there's a tiny version of George in the inside of his head that runs his head, who's on a push bike, because George calls bikes push bikes and not bikes.
Lots of garden gnomes. Lots of trinkets and like tat. Reggae music and kind of like one huge like old pub with plants in it.
Your mind decorated probably every single colour you could ever conceive, but even colours people didn't know existed, all random shapes, sizes, colours. Then probably in the front of it there would be like a window looking out onto just the world. That would be what you see. Then probably at the very front of your mind there'd be like a picture of Ellie, so obviously that's all you think about, and then a little plant pot next to it with whatever plant that you want to have. And then a record player in the corner of every single vinyl you could ever want and ever need. And that's what I would think the inside of your mind would look like.
And then every time George wants to think of a memory, the little man just pedals really fast and then it projects it onto his eyes. That's how I imagine George's head.
I remember a really funny one. There was like a picture of him looking really annoyed or like kind of a bit like fed up, and our friend Tay, this was like ages ago, so we were like 16, our friend Tay put a caption on it that was like, "Grab the dog, we're leaving," and it was like, there was no explanation, it was just like a perfect caption.
This picture is so cute. I'm also starting to realise how I feel like I have more photos of George than I do of Ellie, which is a little bit weird. Look at that little face. How can you not love it? Happy, happy birthday, George. Why do I have so many photos of you?
The funniest picture, that was from the morning after cereals last year, which by the way we need to sort out for this year. It's back up in Lincoln. After the story behind it of doing yoga with Clint, and probably just the weirdest thing about it is being perfectly sober through the whole thing. I'll let you try and explain that one to everyone. It was an interesting night.
A lot, basically, kind of all the time.
You being clumsy. Probably one of the best ones was at Summer. I think I even have the video of you kicking your door and then breaking the door off because you kicked it too hard. There's that one, and then there's also the one where you decided to spill port all over your laptop, which was very clever after Monopoly with port, which I think Ed was at actually. I think that was the night he was there. That was another morning after I think I woke up next to you, which seems to happen quite a lot, which is interesting.
George, you are as clumsy as I am. I cannot count how many times I've seen you knock over pint glasses or just fall over your own limbs.
I think it's probably a toss-up between Cheesy Chips and Ellie, but I think Ellie probably makes the cut.
Ellie, you know George loves you the most, and then Cheesy Chips. I always think of that time, I think it was my birthday when I ended up sleeping.
What you love most? I think there's just one thing, but the one thing at the top, but I think you just love life. Just happy to be alive. Just happy being Somesy in the Somesy world. Then number 2, Ellie, obviously. Yeah, I think we've all been there and heard that in various ways of how much you love Ellie. Then 3rd would be gardening, plants, anything outdoors, hot, cold, whatever it is. You love being outdoors and your plants. I'm sure you have some mittens somewhere or finger mittens where you can do it whatever the weather. Then after that, music. Just, well, I'm not sure what you listen to at the moment, but I know at the moment I'm listening to the new Amy McDonald, who is one of our loves as well. I don't think you put Amy McDonald above Ellie, but she is up there, isn't she? Yeah, and then after that, nights out. Just any sort of night out, as long as there's a good vibe, as you would say. Yeah, that's what I'd say for that.
Pretty cool.
21! I'm glad that because of Ellie, I've had a chance to actually get to know you. Happy birthday. I'm looking forward to going to the pub when I get home.
Happy birthday! Happy 20th! Love you lots.
Happy birthday again. Have a good one, and we will sort out doing something. I hope this mildly gets me out of not being there, but I'm sorry. I'll be back as soon as possible.